Mass Effect Legendary Edition, fantastic. You can skip the first game. The second game is one of the best games ever made. It's so tight and focused. The third game is very good. This is the first time I actually played through it. The ending was fine. It wasn't great. One of the problems with this though is that they wove in the DLC directly into the game. So there was a point where I was doing DLC and I was like, why am I doing any of this? Like, what does this have to do with the story? And it turns out it was just completely tangential to the story. Horizon Forbidden West, gameplay-wise and graphically, just superb. Story-wise, I couldn't care less what happened. So I mainlined the story. Overall, a very good game. I probably should not have paid full price. Finished it in like 25 hours. Stranger of Paradise, I've only played a little bit, but it is the perfect type of stupid, and the gameplay is super fun. And on a side note, I prefer the Xbox this generation. That is crazy. What a turnaround. The Xbox Series X is just such a compact console. The menus are so snappy. The interface is so good. You can find the games that you own so easily. You can download them and erase them, and it's great. A bunch of video games came out like in the last month or two, but for some reason Trials of Mana just grabbed me at just the right time, and it is scratching an itch that I didn't even know was there. And I didn't buy this game on launch because I was like, oh, maybe it's not actually that good of a remake, because the reviews were kind of middling. It is fantastic. It is not only a good remake, it's just an excellent game in its own right. The battle system is so snappy and fast, it's so much fun. You're just running around adventuring, come on. Anyways, lots of good games came out. I have no shortage of options when it comes to just really fun games to play. You know what's interesting though, is that I decided to take a break from the internet early on Sunday, which turned out to be fantastic timing. The thing with the internet is it always makes me want things. Like every time I think I'm done wanting things, like I'm like, oh man, I've got everything I need. I've got endless entertainment. The internet's like, oh, by the way, you want this. And I'm like, oh, you're right. I do want that. There's this guy I follow on Twitter. His name's Richmond Lee, and his username is Art Eater. Twitter is one of those things where I hate it and love it at the same time. I hate it because it's just so bite-sized pieces of novelty that I can just get addicted to so easily. The good news is that you can eventually run out because you only follow a certain amount of people. But I love it because you discover new things from people like this guy. He was raving about two different shows, Ranking of Kings and Odd Taxi. And I was like, this dude's tastes align with mine so well that I know I have to check out these two shows. Ranking of Kings, it's so good. And Odd Taxi, I'm not as far in, but also so good, man. The internet is such a double-edged sword, man. It can be too much. It's like a fire hose just in your mouth, and you're like, ugh. But at the same time, when you find something that you really connect with, you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I found this. And it's because of the internet and random people posting bits of novelty on the internet. And one more piece of media news. HBO Max now has Babylon 5 in a video quality that I find acceptable. After I finished Deep Space Nine, a lot of people recommended Babylon 5, and I was like, oh man, yeah, I should watch Babylon 5. But the quality that was available was like somebody took a VHS tape, taped the episodes, and then transferred that to a DVD, and then put that on a VCD, and then transfer that to somebody's computer, and then Amazon started streaming it. Now, it's technically supposed to be HD. It doesn't exactly look very HD, but yeah, Babylon 5, man. We're gonna have some lunchtime Babylon 5. Actually, it's probably a lunchtime Odd Taxi. But then after I finish Odd Taxi, you know. Unfortunately, this is the aftermath of when the grandkids come over, but they have such a good time. It's fine, it's no problem. It's no problem, baby. Okay, like I said, we're gonna watch Odd Taxi today. That seems like the perfect lunch show. I love the novelty of the internet. Just going to the YouTube homepage and seeing what crap it recommends to me for like the 20th time, and I'm like, I've watched the video already. Recommend me something new. That's the most annoying part of the YouTube algorithm. Or going to Twitter and seeing what bits of novelty are available. But also, it's really nice to just be like, yo, I'm gonna actually focus my brain and then consume something meaningful and worthwhile at least. what I've gotten better at as I've gotten older? Is knowing when to stop eating. This is kind of a thing that's happened as I've gotten older in general. I have less all or nothing thinking. I still have plenty of it, don't get me wrong, but I've gotten better at realizing that it doesn't have to be eat until you can't eat anymore. It's like eat when you get hungry, and then maybe stop before you're super full. You can always eat again later. I find that especially important at lunch and breakfast. Dinner doesn't matter as much because you can fall asleep afterwards. Okay, now it's time to work on the bloopers for Adventure Archives episode number 50. If you would like to see bloopers from any of our episodes, patreon.com/adventure. They are very funny, very stupid. You will get a kick out of them. Okay, the bloopers are done. This was a short one. It was only 3 minutes or so long. Most of the funny jokes made it into the episode, so there wasn't really that much left for the blooper reel. But yeah, that's done. Anyways, what that means is that I can offload all of the project files onto the archive drive. That is one of my favorite feelings. You just don't have to think about it anymore, and it's clean from your hard drive. Oh, love that feeling so much. Let's go for a run. So I can confirm that I have resumed my Ring Fit adventure, but we still gotta go outside, get some fresh air, get warmed up. It's 41 degrees today, that's not too bad. Anything above freezing for running is usually manageable. Below freezing, and then, you know, death is preferable. In the words of Shulk, I'm really feeling it. Oh man! That was my first sub 8-minute mile in quite a while. 7 minutes, 44 seconds, 1 mile. That's the warm up for today, baby. I used to teach like 7 Zumba classes a week. I was super in shape. I was also overworked. Now I only teach once a week, and running doesn't work out enough of my body that I need to teach those classes. And if I'm not in shape and I'm not able to go like twice as hard as my students, it's just not as fun for anybody. So I've been trying to get back in shape, and Ring Fit is part of that equation because it works out more of my body, not just my legs, not just my heart and lungs. This way I'm like actually getting some muscle workout. Yeah. Wow, I tried one of these Apple workouts. Oh, that was fun. That's cool that they constantly update them. And the video quality, oh, top notch, top notch. Oh, my legs are tight. Anyways, I'm determined to get back in shape. I feel like I've been letting it slip, man. Come on, man. Okay, that'll do it for today's vlog. Thank you very much for watching. Maybe one of these days it'll actually be warm enough and more importantly dry enough to use the one wheel. I had one really good riding session with it. Fell quite hard, and I was like, let me make sure that I have enough protective equipment before I use this again. And then basically it's been eternal winter since then. But I feel like spring's around in the corner. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, wow, ah, oh. I can't actually see if that, what? I can't actually see what my stomach looks like.